Man, it's so unfortunate. They both played their comps pretty well, and eventually it was RIT getting the better of it, but
Looks like
Western
we're heading
Ontario
into
just not having it.
yeah, we're going into Champion Select now in game 2. RIT opting in for an Urgot ban. RIT wait a second.
Looking like similar bands here.
Very similar bands. Thresh,
Exactly
York,
the same
Vando.
bands so far.
Looks like they had a very set plan, although I do want to highlight the Thresh ban as a little, perhaps a mistake, because RIT has been, although Thresh is probably the best support currently in the game, he is top of the meta for support as a whole. He is able to peel, make engages, get his laners out if they're in trouble. He's just an excellent support, but at the same time, Kaseme can play just about any support. He can play his Morgana. He can play his...
Yeah, Kaseme does have a very good champion pool. And I really like the Zoe ban from Western Ontario. I mean, I'm surprised that they gave it to him game 1, but they decide, nah, you're not getting this game 2. And very smart ban by Western Ontario. Solus just went absolutely off in that champ before the unfortunate loss.
He was the highest damage dealt in the game on that Zoe. He secured multiple solo kills. He was the entire reason RIT was able to make that Baron play, although it got stolen away, but we don't mention that. He just put up so much pressure in those team fights and so much damage. I think this Zoe ban is incredibly smart.
Caitlyn,
your spicy pick.
I love Caitlyn so much.
Talk about it.
I just think this champ is so good right now. Obviously, like the IE and crit revert changes. You know, when the new IE, or like, I mean, I guess it's technically now the old IE, yeah. But the IE change didn't really help Caitlyn because she does like to just like the BF crit item IE, and she does so well with that 2 and then 3 item power spike with the double zeal item, sometimes with the rapid fire cannon and static shift combo. But she's so good at just sieging towers and being super oppressive. So might be looking for some sort of poke siege comp here coming out from Western Ontario.
Now, the beautiful thing I like to highlight about Caitlyn as an ADC main myself, especially when I played Caitlyn back in the good old...
Ooh, the Jinx
we'll get to that in a second.
I like that too.
We'll get to that in a second.
I like that too.
But Caitlyn is able to opt in to BF Sword, into Zeal, into Berserker Greaves. And I believe that's a very underrated build. A lot of Korean players like to build early tier 2 boots, as you are able to get extra mobility to avoid early game ganks on these slightly immobile ADCs. And Caitlyn makes more use out of those 3 items than possibly any other ADC other than Jinx.
Berserker Greaves is very cost efficient.
Yeah, because you rush into IE after that, after those 3 items, instead of going for the Zeal item for Caitlyn, just because she doesn't need that attack speed, as she is a combo-based ADC. Jinx, on the other hand...
Yeah, speaking of Jinx...
Talk
about power spikes.
Goes for the Runaans before the IE, and that's teamfight damage. That is huge teamfight damage, just like the Sivir, only even more oppressive from a range and even more oppressive in terms of basic mobility in a fight and general DPS.
Yeah, and it looks like RIT just going for the Scion, just putting... Sagusa was amazing in the top lane, playing into a bad matchup. He played very well. He played... I thought he played very well, and then obviously I love the Jinx here. With the Sejuani, I like this team comp a lot so far.
Sejuani is such a strong pick in the meta right now. Her buffs to her damage, as well as the, not exactly cooldown on her, I think you know what, the cooldown per target on her is just huge for her clear and her early game gank potential. I love that champion pick right now, but you're the jungle main here. Why don't I let you talk about it?
I love Sejuani. The new changes her. She has so much damage. She has so much CC, so much, like, she's so strong. Like, she fits like so many roles. Like, obviously she's a tank and she can CC, but she also does enough damage necessary to set up ganks and stuff. I think all around she's just an amazing jungler.
Now, RIT is opting in for probably a Protect the Jinx composition. They have a very, very heavy front line right now. And I think they're going to continue working into that.
Yeah, I mean, they're going for another, like, super scale comp, you know, with the super scaling AD carry. I mean, it worked last time until unfortunately they just lost the game out of nowhere.
Yeah, it worked until
it ended. It was working very well until a little bit of a poor shot calling, but obviously they're showing that they're very good at using these comps. Except, you know, maybe there's a few fights that they shouldn't be taking when they do, but they are kind of having this little identity thing where sometimes they want to go like these half super engaged, but then also like supposed to be late game comps. So maybe I think from that game they show that maybe they are aggressive a little too early before they're able to power spike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's looking like it's just going to be looking like it's going to be a pretty safe comp here from RIT.
Now, what I'm very interested in is what both teams are going to opt in for a mid lane right here. Karma is a flex pick, although I do believe it's still going to be a support pick. But I'm very interested to see what RIT opts in for both a mid laner and a support for a Protect the Jinx composition.
I mean, if I'm on the side of Western Ontario, I'm looking for a tank killer, right?
Right there. That's what I like to see. Tom Kench coming out
Tom
for
Kench. Triple tank Jinx.
No catch potential anymore.
Wow.
You cannot catch that Jinx. That is a W removal of the Jinx on RIT's comp. A beautiful pick. Another tank.
I would love to see Vayne here from Western Ontario. Vayne. Like, unfortunately, they already have the AD carry picked up. I just want to see a Vayne.
Pick Vayne. No, wait. Why would they pick Vayne? They already got a Caitlyn.
I mean, at this point...
Maybe top lane. That's all I can think of.
I mean, Vayne counters RIT's comp so incredibly hard that I think you have to just force it. I mean, maybe your mid laner top player can't play Vayne, but, like, I don't know. You need to force something like that. They have no tank killers on the side of West Ontario. All they have is the Cassiopeia.
I favor this game for RIT. Their comp is just so much more well coordinated. They have such good protections for the Jinx. Such good of a front line.
I love that.
An amazing backline too. Vel'Koz coming out. He's able to just burst down champions from afar. Be able to secure fights with his zoning potential, with his W, with his E, with his ultimate, doing true damage if you get the studies out. And this is just such a amazing composition for RIT. They've got everything they need. They've got poke. They've got DPS. They've got frontline. They've got peel. They've got everything that they need. Meanwhile, for Western Ontario, they've got a very strong aggressive bot side that doesn't synergize with anything. They've got a very strong mid lane pick that doesn't synergize with anything but the Jarvan.
I just don't see the reasoning behind Western Ontario's comp. I guess they're trying to go for some sort of early to mid game playmaking potential to try to get some sort of advantage. I think realistically that's where they're trying to go with this. But man, I do not see them winning a mid or late game team fight without some crazy Cassiopeia shenanigans going on.
I agree with that statement.
Or maybe they completely stomp the bot lane, but Jinx is a champ that's able to go 0-5 in lane, hit the 2-item power spike, and just 1v9 a team fight.
That is quite true. Jinx is one of those champions that is able to put up pressure at all points in the game. Although she doesn't have a highlight early game, per se, she does have the poke with her rocket form, with her W, with her E. She can pull out fights extremely easily, and she has such amazing DPS at all points with her attack speed up, both on her passive and on her Q passive. She does so much damage across the entire game, and she's just been a very underrated pick across just about every season since her release.
Yep, it's insane. You want to switch to play by play?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We can do that.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be waiting for the game to start right now. We're just in the loading screen.
It's at 3 seconds.
Don't worry. That's just a frozen screen. We're good. It's a minute 50.
Oh,
it's just OBS screwing with us.
All right, my bad.
I'm
dumb.
We've got about 2 minutes before we head into game. I think we've already touched on it. Who would you give this game in favor to?
I mean, I said last game to RIT, but they managed to prove me wrong somehow. But again, I do think the outdraft goes to RIT. But obviously, Western Ontario is showing that individually they're very skilled. They're very skilled players, and they do have pretty strong mentals. Showing from that last game, they were able to come back and recognize that huge opening that RIT left for them. But if RIT just calms down, just slow, like they just need to slow down. If they just they don't let the first game tilt them. Slow down the game. Don't take any risky Ocean Drake fights where you all die for no reason.
We'll just call it a meme Drake from now on.
That's why, you know, Cloud Drake is just clown. It's a Clown Drake.
Yeah.
This is just nothing.
Well, Clown Drake is a good Drake.
It's
Split
okay.
push.
It's
Rotations.
It's okay.
Man.
I mean, yeah, but it's okay.
Highest win rate in worlds. Very good dragon. Underrated.
Yeah, but
not as good as
it's gonna be RIT though. I think RIT definitely takes this if they play like they were last game and just don't go for the risky dragon fight and just understand at the end they just need to play it slow. They definitely should win this game for sure.
I definitely agree with you right here. RIT's comp is just an absolute beast. Sagusa getting on his Scion again. He was an absolute monster.
And into Shen this time too.
Game.
He's not gonna be completely bullied around this time.
I do actually like Shen into Scion because you've got a very easy cancel,
yes.
and he does have mixed damage as well as percentage.
The percentage max is very good against Scion, but I think Scion's able to bully Shen really hard early.
That is true. I do think that the top lane is going to go just about even, as top lanes usually go.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I would say bot lane is going to favor Ontario very early into the game. Caitlyn Karma has been a very long time horror composition to lane against.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Western Ontario's bot lane just completely shoving in RITs. RIT pretty much has no answer in the bot lane to the early game of Short Hop and Blaze Nova. And it looks like we are going to be getting into Game 2 here. RIT versus University of Western Ontario, Game 2. RIT looking to tie this up after a tragic Game 1.
I do like how this game is looking up to be. I want to see RIT be able to... and we got to pause. Okay, we're going back to idle screen real fast.
Scuffed.
And ruin. Okay. Anyways, RIT is going to be able to win out that late game yet again. I think this game is going to mostly come down to shot calling in the end. As we saw in the last game. Oh, and we're already back in. That pause
it was a quick resume here. I guess there was no real problem. Not really sure what it was.
Lag.
Just
lag.
RT was lagging last game.
Yeah.
Brain lag, I guess.
It was just okay, guys. Our middle inhibitor is still. We got the middle inhibitor for another 5 minutes, guys. Let's just push it and end the game. Oh, wait a second. We lost.
Oh, but they're looking for something here.
If Infiltrator walks up just a tad bit too far, I see a taunt coming out onto him.
Yeah,
He's going to fall. Just back up, Infiltrator.
I mean,
don't need the ward.
Slasher's the flash taunt, but I don't think...
He's going for the ward. The Q hits, but the Sejuani passive prevents the slow. I think the taunt coming out first would have been the smartest choice.
Infiltrator saying, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky there.
Walks out with his life.
They do have the flash taunt if he gets close enough, but they don't have any follow-up for it level 1, so not really too much, danger there for Infiltrator, as long as he doesn't completely walk in.
Now, even if Ontario wins out this early game, they don't actually have the strongest pressure from early game fights. They don't have the same tower taking potential that either team had in the last game, and RIT's tower taking potential in this game is just ridiculous. There's going to be a demolish on Infiltrator. There's going to be Jinx being Jinx, doing Jinx things, just destroying turrets one after the other, being the fastest pushing champion in the entire game. Other than maybe like Nasus, but that's another story right there.
Oh, you'd love to see a Nasus, wouldn't you?
No.
Oh, great hit there with the Qs by Blaze Nova.
Good, excellent. I like to see poke in the bottom lane when poke is the advantage that you need to take.
I mean, that's the winning lane they have right now. That's going to be the Caitlyn and the Karma, poking out the Jinx very easily early.
Yeah, I think RT is probably just going to freeze the lane once it gets pushed into turret. There's absolutely no way that it's not going to get pushed, as they already have a CS advantage, and Karma is able to just kill Jinx, just kill her.
Yeah, Blaze Nova doing so much work, recognizing he gets the level 2 power spike here.
It's it's a good decision for Stiletto to opt in for the Doran Shield. He's going to have a little bit more sustain than if he opted in for just a little bit. 3% lifesteal doesn't really give much for an early game for a Jinx. It's more for bruiser bot lanes at this point, the Doran's Blade.
Yeah.
I think Doran's Shield is falling back.
And you mentioned that the RT bot lane wants to try to freeze it in front of their turrets, but the bottom lane of Western Ontario does have pretty good wave clear, right? You see right here, RT's just not able to freeze it here.
That is true. It's just going to keep bouncing back and forth, although RIT is looking to survive into the late game. Julius did roam in, and we got another vertical jungling, so he will look to pressure bot
they
or
already
mid
get plating.
First. That's such an early tower plate. The oppression of that bot lane is just so unbelievably strong. And while RIT does have a much stronger composition with their bot lane, this bot lane just 2v2 matchup is going to be a losing lane for RIT.
Blaze Nova just slapping... Blaze Nova and Short Hop Bows just slapping Stiletto around. There's no response that they have.
Now, I really wish I could see the rune choices for Blaze Nova, because I experienced a horror the other day. We've been hearing about it, and it just got hot fixed for at least mid and top lane, but the Kleptomancy Lulu and Karma 0 CS lane. Although it was a tactic that you could use in mid and top, you could also use it in support against melee support matchups. And it is incredible how much gold you can get just by using Qs and auto attacks.
I mean, he's consistently proccing it.
I'm not sure if he has the Kleptomancy, though. He doesn't have any items.
He has Airy, but he's been proccing the Spell Thieves consistently so far in this lane.
So the difference with the Airy and the Kleptomancy is that you're opting in for late game, mid game damage with the Kleptomancy rather than the early game that you would get out of Airy. You also lose out on a bit of shielding, but you get your item spikes a little bit earlier. In the game that I played as this 0 CS Karma trick with the Kleptomancy, you can actually outgold an ADC in the early game, even if they get first blood. Even if they're up perfect CS, you can out.
Oh my god, the poke coming out from Short Hop. And they have 2 platings in the bot lane already. There's nothing that RIT can do here.
So I believe RIT is probably just going to accept an early loss on the tower. Although it's going to give a gold lead for Ontario, it's going to allow RIT to come back in the mid game. If the bot lane is pushed so early, then the Caitlyn isn't going to be able to power spike in her roams. She actually gets a lot of damage across.
Devour's down. Julius is actually going to come in here. Not going to look for the dive, though. Really it's a risky situation there.
This is probably going to be first turret, though, in the bot lane for Ontario. 6 minutes in.
Julius is just so aggressive.
They do have 3 turret plates, and the turret plates do get a little bit stronger as it goes on.
It's down to 2.
Julius is actually very extended up here. Infiltrator is in the bot side jungle, so he might look to counteract this push with the help of Kazeme.
All but 1 turret plating the bot lane at 6 minutes for the side of West Ontario. They have not backed once, and they have almost taken this turret. It is insane. Actually, Slash are going to be hitting up Sagusa in the top.
With 5 turret plates, that's 800 gold just from the plating for Ontario. They do have about 1.2k gold lead, so that's 400 gold from CS across the board. The 800 from the tower.
Slasher going in, hitting up Sagusa. Really nice taunt and Q.
Now, although turret plating is very helpful in the early game towards getting advantages, it actually does not offer a very substantial gold lead. It does allow you to snowball, but Ontario doesn't have a very snowball-heavy composition. Although the Caitlyn can oppress this bot lane very easily, getting that turret plating isn't going to transition that much into like a huge lead. Sure, it's going to allow them to maybe roam a little bit earlier if they get the early turret, but Jinx being able to pick up a pickaxe and maybe get the Runans after the pickaxe is actually going to be pretty good.
I mean, as long as Short Hop is this much further against Jinx, he should definitely have the advantage, right? Unless Jinx gets her big 80 item or she gets her Renans, there's literally going to be no way that she ends up dealing with Caitlyn for sure. Because with all the plating, Short Hop is so far ahead at this point that Stiletta can't do anything.
I somewhat disagree. Although Caitlyn does have the extra 15 AD, they are going to get first turret here as Julius is down here.
It's going to be so much gold.
Although Caitlyn does have the plus 15 AD with the BF sword over the pickaxe that Stiletta has, Short Hop is going to be lacking in CS from this point on unless he has very good wave management. He's going to start losing out on his huge amounts of CS that he's going to be gathering up over the Jinx. Sure, he's 30 CS up and a turret with all the plating up, but at the same time, it's a little bit down.
Oh, but Infiltrator going in with the place and Slasher coming down with the old flash taunt onto Solus. He's going to get popped. And now Sagusa's running away. Julius with the knockup onto Sagusa. Gonna get taken down. But it's the rest of RIT gonna get popped up. And now Infiltrator catching out this name though. Not really sure what's going on here, but it's actually gonna be a even trade here for RIT.
I really liked that fight chosen for Ontario, although it is an even trade. I believe First Blood did go over to Ontario, so they did get a little bit of advantage in terms of gold, and they did get a priority in the mid lane, and they're going to get priority top. But at the same time, it looks like there's going to be a slow push in the bot lane favoring RIT, so they're going to be able to get some CS back towards Stiletta. So see here, another fight might break out.
Yeah, Blaze Nova just getting some hits in. It looks like they're gonna try to go for this Ocean Drake.
RIT does have 4 people on the bottom side of the map, although they are missing their mid laner. This is just going to be the meme Drake going over for Ontario. It's smart for RIT to sacrifice that as they are still lacking a lot of their team fight tools in terms of ultimates and mid laners. But for now, RIT is just going to play the safe game for a little bit, try to get that Jinx CS back up, and she does get her Berserker Greaves, so that's a very, very good point.
Really unfortunate for Western Ontario that this name though just got picked off somehow. I don't know if somehow he was in the Wolves. I would have to watch a replay on that because that was very jarring to watch. Infiltrator killing this name though by Wolves. But it's very unfortunate for him because now he's gonna be down. So the only play around that Western Ontario has right now is going to be the Caitlyn. They need to get this Caitlyn doing something right now. And looks like they did send Short Hop top. Gonna look to increase his lead even more.
Now, Slasher's just waiting out these trades so often into Sagusa. Right now he's actually
has the red buff.
Solo kill.
Has the red buff. Gonna keep going down. Eventually just gives up. I think he could have kept going and just killed him. He had red buff and his Q was back up.
He did not have vision of Infiltrator though, so I think he
He does not have flash.
Possible 2v1. Although Infiltrator is going to be spawning on the top side here, we might see a fight coming up very soon.
The Stand United is down. Short Hop gonna get some damage down, but it's gonna be Kazeme in. But now Julius has started the Rift Herald. Not sure if he's gonna get pushed off of it. It looks like Short Hop gonna hard shove the wave. Looks like Vision's gonna be retaken.
Now this time RIT does have their mid laner available as well as Scion Ultimate to perhaps get a surprise 5v4 fight. Although Slasher does still have his teleport, he may not have Stand United for maybe like another 15-20 seconds.
It's pretty much up.
Ooh, looks like a little bit of a bushwhack. Stiletta walking up a little far. Kazeme can just eat him up.
Ooh, Infiltrator is here, but Kazeme with a great devour. But the flash taunt from Slasher, infiltrating him with the ult, but Stiletta does end up going down, and now it's going to be Kazeme running away. But Slasher is going to get hit up. Kazeme with the great stopwatch, and now Slasher is getting chased down. Solus doing his best to catch him down. Blaze Nova caught in the middle, but now Infiltrator's running away, and it looks like it's going to be a disengage. But now this name though, cutting off Solus, there's nowhere to go. Great dodge there, but it doesn't matter. He gets taunted up and gets picked off, and that is going to be a huge win there for Western Ontario.
Now great close down there onto Solus. They were able to pick him off as he still did not have flash after the previous fight we saw on the bot side river. Excellent idea of a fight, although it was still for at least a little bit of time looking in the favor of RIT as they did lose out on the turret dive, or at least Ontario lost out on the turret dive. RT can just look for trades right now, as they benefit a little bit more off the trades. If you're behind, you just want to get some gold. Just want to get some gold back at least. While they did lose the Jinx, and while the kill did go over to, I'm not sure if it went over the Jinx, but ooh, a little bit of a fight
it's gonna be the ult coming in here, and Blaze Nova just gonna get tossed up and sent aside. Great pick there by RT.
Looks like RT is actually going to look to take the Rift Herald right here, as they do have 4 people on the top side of the map. Stiletta is still on the bot side, so they are going to have a little bit of a weak team fight, but they do have a 1-man advantage on the top side.
Shorthop is forced.
Yeah, Sagusa did force into turret with his lane priority. He gets a turret plate, and it looks like RT is just going to get the Rift Herald right here. Infiltrator is just taking it down solo. I think he could use some help there to get it down earlier, but Ontario is looking for the counter play to push in the mid lane. Solus does look to just clear the wave with his ultimate though.
Oh, and they're gonna get 2 platings here, but I mean, look what I'm thinking. This Caitlyn is just so far ahead right now. You know, we were talking about how, you know, yes, Caitlyn would be ahead early, right? But I think they're getting such a huge lead, and they're pushing their lead so effectively now. I think this Caitlyn is a huge problem right now, and they need to be utilizing it right now.
I would say there's probably somewhere close to maybe a 1500-ish, maybe 1800-ish gold lead for that Caitlyn above the Jinx. If we look at just the gold lead in general right now for Ontario, all of that gold lead, almost all of it, is just on the ADC. That is exactly where they want it to be, and Solus is actually a little far up. He does have flash this time though.
Yeah, Solus having flash this time.
And it does help out as he's able to get away from Julius before the Cataclysm can catch him out. And looks like the Cloud Drake is going to be Ontario's next objective, as they have 4 on it already.
Yeah, haven't seen any Drakes besides Cloud or Oceans this set so far. Really unlucky for people actually getting, and it looks, yeah, it's gonna be the next, it's gonna be Ocean Drake next.
Oh, Meme Dragon coming back up. Let's see if RT throws at it yet again.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see that one. Tune in next time to see if RT throws at Ocean Drake, but Infiltrator with the Rift Herald might get something going here, maybe in a bit, maybe if they get a pick or some sort, but with that Stand United in the top lane, it's going to be very hard to get something going, especially on how fed the Kate is with the Karma.
RIT's got to dedicate some people in mid lane right now to clear out the minion waves. Looks like Solus is on his way back mid, so they are going to be able to clear that out before Ontario gets a good push.
Oh, Infiltrator engaging in with the Glacial Prison, and now the Stand United comes out, but it doesn't matter. Shorthop gets taken down too fast, and now Julius is trying to get Solus. He's going to have to pop the stopwatch, but this is disaster for Western Ontario. Julius, oh, but the failed flash from Infiltrator, no, so unfortunate. But Ignite actually does take down Julius. That is a clean 2-0 fight for RIT.
That was a excellent aggressive engage by Infiltrator, picking out the fight before they could even see the Cyanol activated. This is going to be a Rift Herald and another turret for RIT, and they're actually going to be able to close this gold lead right
They
here.
might get 2 towers off of this, actually, if they get the... the minion wave is a little bit slow, and it looks like they are actually going to have to back off.
No, they're pushing in yet again.
They have to shove it in. They're going to shove it in here.
They're shoving in, and I do believe they are going back off and probably rotate towards the top side of the map next. They are able to clear out that Rift Herald before it takes another hit onto the inner turret. Excellent play there from RIT. They make the aggressive play with Infiltrator's ultimate activated, as I said, before the Scion ult, so they are able to get an excellent pick off. Solus was in range to land his E, knock up the Caitlyn, land his W, get the study off for his ultimate to do true damage, and they just annihilate the gold lead of Ontario just from killing off the Caitlyn in the fight. They didn't even close the gold quite yet, and they just from killing the Caitlyn, it evens out the fight just in terms of gold.
Ooh, Julius trying to catch out Stiletta here between the tier 1 and tier 2,
Stiletta
but this is
wins.
so risky here. Stiletta actually has some AD, and Kazeme's here to devour him and get him away. Really, I mean, Julius is taking down so low. This is so risky for them.
This could be a fight for RIT. Sagusa is backing right now, probably going to look for a teleport.
Ooh, Jinx Rocket not going to hit, though.
Super Mega Death Rocket was looking for Julius, although that Ocean Drake probably healed him up just enough to survive that ultimate. Does do a lot of damage, but not quite 500, 600 this early into the game.
Stiletta still hasn't back. I'm not sure how much gold he has, but he's been sitting on BF pickaxe for a while now, and they did get the shutdown on Decay. Not sure if it went to Stiletta, but I mean that's a 500 gold shutdown of Short Hop. I mean, unfortunately, Short Hop was way too aggressive in his positioning there and got taken down. But it's gonna be RIT catching up now, evening up the gold lead.
Now RIT is actually got that. They did get that even out gold lead, but at the moment I think it's going to just go back into farming and just getting the pressure into the top lane. I think at this point in the game they're going to stick ADC versus ADC in the mid lane, just playing that silver ADC positioning because you can't get any other objective on the map currently. There's no Dragon up for another minute. There's no Baron up for another minute.
Yeah, I mean this farming sort of stalemate completely favors RIT. You know, it's the same story we had last game, right? All of the lanes of Western Ontario are out farming RIT, but it just doesn't matter because RIT does have the better scaling comp, and so right now they're just able to sit back. Stiletta did finish his IE looking to get the Renons, and at this point it's just RIT sit back, get some minions, and looking to win the game.
Now with the composition that Ontario drafted, there is going to be a very big clump up on their engage, which is going to favor the Jinx so much. So if they don't get that backline dive onto the Jinx, they are just going to straight up lose the fight. And even if they do get that backline dive, it's still the Tahm Kench able to just devour the Jinx and able to get away from the engage immediately. Yeah, I think RIT is getting exactly what they want in this game at this point, as that early game advantage that the Caitlyn was able to get from those turret plays, from that first turret, from that first blood, from that second kill.
This is
getting nothing at this point.
The sheer bulkiness of RIT's front line is just unkillable for Western Ontario, right? I mean, you have the Cassiopeia, you have the percent damage from Shen, but I mean, the problem is the Jarfun is pretty useless against RIT's comp, right? You get onto Jinx or Vel'Koz and then he just gets devoured.
Those are some disgusting crits from the K-Rune right there, knocking down Kazemi down to a very low amount of health. Another Ocean Drake going over to Ontario, and we can't exactly see what Dragon's next quite yet, but RIT is able to trade back a turret for that Ocean Drake. I think it is good for, or at least better for Ontario to look for Ocean Drakes than RIT does, specifically because Cassiopeia's poison spam. They want that mana regen out of combat to get that poke in before they take a fight. Get those tanks a little bit lower, although I do like RIT trading the turret there. That's going to get more gold onto the Jinx, and she does get her Zeal to get a little bit more power onto that IE with more crits happening in the fights.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Short Hop, you know, when he was hitting up Kazemi, you know, that double item power spike is just so crazy. And of course you see the Kyle Drake coming in hot there, gonna be highly contested. Oh, but it's actually Julius catching out Kazemi, and this is gonna be a fight. He cataclysms in, the Shadow is on him, but Solus is able to E him away, and it looks like it's gonna be the disengage. Teleport coming out from Sagusa. And it's going to be Stiletta a bit late coming down, but it's going to be the disengage from both sides.
Now, although Kazemi burned Flash right there, I do think that might actually be a favored trade for RIT, as Cataclysm is a very essential ultimate for the team fight.
Along with Stand United, too.
And Stand United.
Unfortunately, they do get Sagusa's teleport.
They did get Sagusa's teleport, but it does give RIT a little bit of priority in the mid lane. They're going to shove that up as Ontario resets. It's going to give RIT the advantage of ward coverage around the Baron. So they're going to be able to set up that line of ward scrimmage, get the vision where vision is needed.
I mean, the way I see it is that any fight that RIT disengage is completely a win for them, right? Yep. Because all they care about is making the game go longer, right? I mean, they were able to disengage that beautifully, not one of them getting taken down. And now Western Ontario just have to just sit there and wait for Stand United and Cataclysm to come up, while RIT is slowly getting more farm on the Vel'Koz and the Jinx, and it's just going to be completely out of control in a bit.
And very soon we're going to see these fights just exploding. As RIT groups around the mid lane, we're probably going to see a fight here in just a second.
Oh, and looks like they're going to try to contest this turret. Infiltrator's passive is not low, but RIT just decides against engaging here. I mean, they understand just to play slow, so they just disengage. And West Ontario do get the tower.
Oh, Stiletto's roaming up to that top side, and very soon he's going to get that power spike with the Runan's Hurricane. Although it is a very strong item on Jinx, you've still got to realize that it's only going to be super strong 50% of the time, because that's where you're getting 50% crit chance. After the Runans, I do think that Stiletto is going to look for either a Phantom Dancer or the Rapid Fire Cannon. I do think Rapid Fire Cannon is a pretty smart choice for the comp.
For sure.
Jinx doesn't, or with the Tahm Kench at least, Jinx doesn't need that extra defense from Phantom Dancer. And if Jinx is even going to be going that low, I think that she's just going to...
He's going to be able to rip through the front line of West Ontario. But you actually, one thing I want to note here is Short Hop picking up the pickaxe and longsword, indicating he's going for the last Whisper, which is 100% what he needs to do, right? They have no one that can rip through these tanks. So Short Hop trying to do his best to get through these tanks somehow.
Yeah, with the buffs to Last Whisper, the 9.3 patch, it does do a lot better job at killing through tanks without having to build fully into Mortal Reminder or Lord Dominic's Regard. I do think that it's the right pickup to go for that. And RIT is looking for a fight to try to pick out this name, though.
Yeah, because MA did ult in, but not going to be finding it. But it looks like Western Ontario going to try to go for something, but they decide against it. And now it's going to be Solus pushing the mid lane because of it.
No, Jinx is probably just backing up right here, giving the illusion of a retreat. I think Stiletto is a little bit rusty on his Jinx as he goes for the Rapid Fire Cannon over the Runan's Hurricane.
Ooh.
Although Rapid Fire Cannon is safer for this early game and safer for getting the poke down, you've already got a lot of safety with a very strong front line and a Tahm Kench. I don't think it's necessary.
I think his thought process is that it's mostly going to be single target, but they actually are looking for a Baron. Very risky.
Ooh.
Short Hop can take it solo, but it's going to be the Rocket coming in, taking him low. But now it's going to be Slasher taken up by Infiltrator. And Western Ontario still trying to look for a fight here. Not sure what they're trying to do here. But Slasher's caught up in the middle. Sagusa going to knock him up. Unfortunately, he is a very techie boy. But now it's Julius caught up. And they eventually are able to get away. Infiltrator really trying to force something here. But unfortunately looking like X-Smithy out here.
Just thinking on that play. RIT has a... I think it's safe to say that RIT isn't going to lose vision on that topside river bush, but they're actually going to walk down for the
Ocean
Drake.
But the flash taunt. Solus is up too far, but Kazemi with a great devour, and now Julius is getting knocked up. Slasher hits him with the shield. Infiltrator flash up, gonna finish him off. But now Name Through Charm trying to kill the backline of RT, but it is disaster for Western Ontario. But now Short Hop is trying to get something going here. He's not able to do enough damage to this front line. And now Slasher going to be slowly taking down while RT takes the dragon. And it looks like Short Hop, Slasher trying to get something going. They really want to try to finish this off and not give it to RT. But it's going to be Solus just zoning them off. And Short Hop's got to be careful here. And it looks like eventually they do just hand over the dragon.
That was a very hectic fight, favored for RIT as they pick up 3 kills and the dragon for losing just Stiletto. And I think the most important part about that fight is the fact that Sagusa actually landed a 3-man Q, that's a fully charged Q at that stunned up this name though, Short Hop and Blaze Nova. That's all the damage gone, especially with Julius already being chunked low from making the engage for his team. That fight was extremely well played for RIT, although it was very scrappy and Stiletto overextended a little bit, pushing himself up a little bit too far into the river towards the Pixel Brush. So I think RIT is definitely going to be happy with that trade, though.
Yeah,
Jinx is getting her 45%.
RIT just playing it really well, and now it's, I mean, like you're saying, Stiletto, dude.
65%.
Once he gets that 3rd Zeal item, it is just lights out. There's no way that they can get to him. Like, this name, though, unfortunately, O2 does have farm, but you saw that he tried getting into the backline of RIT, and unfortunately he didn't have the damage or any follow from his team, and he wasn't able to finish them off.
It's going to take a while to clear those 2 wards. As RIT opted into 8 seconds of ward clear time in that river bush. There's actually a lot of ward control on the Baron for Ontario. They're getting a lot of very good kills right here on the wards. RT is going to need to reset their ward coverage on that. It's currently, they're going to need to send Kizame back in order to get more wards. He's only got one more on him, or at least one more vision ward on him, and he's got 2 more control wards ready in his slot. RIT is going to need to play this a little bit safe. Ontario as well needs to respect RIT's fight potential. It's going to be a fight very soon.
Short Hop finishing the Lord Dominic's regard because he needs to straight up just as much armor pen as possible. So, you know, we saw last fight, even though he's so far ahead, he just wasn't able to get through the front line. But maybe now it's going to be a different story after finishing the LDR, so we'll definitely see. But it's going to be an engage here from RIT. Blaze Nova taken up. It looks like it's going to be the death ray, but Julius going in with a huge shield. Solus having to pop the Zonias, but Kazeme coming in with Stiletta, and the carries are so low, they don't have any damage now. Julius is going to go down, but now Infiltrator running for his life. And this could be so disastrous for RIT, but it's looking like they're going to get away. Kazeme is forced to flash, but great fight there by Western Ontario.
At the same time, that was still a 1-for-1 trade. It might be a turret right here as Sugusa needs to back off a little bit, but RIT does have a little bit of a re-engage for a fight if they choose to do it. Yeah, looks like Ontario's just going back off here, though.
Unlucky flub on the Karma pick there. Really, I mean, they kind of missed some of their stuff there, and then the Karma shields just came out, and then they were able to get the turn.
It was an excellent turnaround with Julius ulting back on to both the carries of RIT. They were clumped up without the Tom Kench right there to take one of them away. In the end, Kizame, all his W did for Stiletta was reposition him across a corner. He didn't actually get much distance at all. Enough distance that it would have just been a flash. In the end, RIT needs to dedicate that Tom Kench closer to the carries to make sure that some sort of engage like that doesn't happen, because a 2-man taunt as well as a 2-man cataclysm as well as a 2-man EQ combo from Julius is just going to shred apart RIT's backline, as we saw right there.
Yeah, the main way Western Ontario wins these fights is if they get some crazy pick like that onto the carries of RIT. I mean, that was like but you have to take into consideration that was almost a best case situation there for them, and they still only came out 1-1.
That is true. At the same time, Jinx hits her 3-item power spike right now, so if they are able to get the fights with that favored Kizame sitting right on top of the Jinx, then Jinx is going to be able to destroy Ontario's lineup.
Short Hop still with half an item lead though, with the Zeal.
That is true, but at the same time, the Last Whisper, if Stiletta did have that, it wouldn't actually be offering much, as there is very, very little defense for the main targets that Stiletta is going to want to focus. That armor pen isn't as necessary as it is for the Short Hop. He does get what he wants with that Last Whisper, and Stiletta might want to get a Last Whisper as well, but he doesn't need it as much. So we're going to see a fight picking out very soon.
Slasher going in on Sagusa. It's only this name though with him though. And it looks like the bot lane on Western Ontario is going to be coming down, but they're split up. And now RIT going to get the Devour onto Julius. He has to flash away. The Stand United going down. 3-man taunt onto him with the Glaze. Oh my god, this name though just destroying RIT's front line. And now it's Infiltrator and Stiletta trying to get something going, but they just got completely destroyed.
It looked like Stiletta was just very confused in that fight. He wasn't auto-attacking. He was just walking around Slasher back and forth, even once the taunt landed, or after the taunt landed. It didn't even land onto Stiletta. Stiletta was open to fire off in that fight, and he wasn't getting the damage that he should have. He could have picked off Short Hop way earlier on with his rockets, but instead he gets Julius, and then offers nothing to the fight after that.
It's such a disastrous fight for RIT. They clumped up just exactly in the way Western Ontario wanted them to. I mean, that's the only way Western Ontario, that's the only way they get that fight, right? I mean, if RIT plays the correct if they don't clump together, right? They clumped into the choke. That's exactly what Western Ontario wants. They get hit by the J for all. They get cataclysmed, and then you see that 3-man taunt coming in from Slasher, and then this name though just completely tears up all 3 of those members from RT that were stuck in there, and then the fight just completely devolves.
Now, Slasher was definitely the MVP and is the MVP in this game so far. 3-0-8 on that Shen. His Stand Unites have just been so impactful, aside from maybe that fight or almost fight by the Raptors earlier on. But in that fight, Slasher was the sole win of that fight. That's 3-man taunt led to so much damage landing onto all 3 members of RIT that he needed to. Soletta was not in the combo, although he was able to be picked off right after that because Kazame was one of the members caught. He wasn't able to offer the peel that he would want to. So RIT has been excellent at taking the fights when they are the ones to choose it, but when they aren't the ones to choose it, they have been losing over and over and over again, as we've seen in both games so far.
Super unfortunate by Stiletta, though. He was not able to get any damage going on, and I mean, it's very clear RIT has put all of their eggs in one basket, because you have Infiltrator with the Knight's Vow, you have Kazeme on the Tom Kench with the Zeeks, but if Stiletta isn't auto-attacking, it doesn't matter.
It's true. Stiletta does get his last Whisper, though. So, while the armor starts to rack up for the Shen, for the Jarvan, Stiletta is just countering that now. He's going to be able to tear through them at this point. And
but it's going to be Kazeme. The bot lane comes in for RIT. Slasher, of course, going to just taunt over the wall. And there's no real way they can get him. He is 3-0-8. This Shen is a big boy. And RIT's going to get punished for this in the top lane.
Yeah, as they dedicated 4 to take off Slasher, they're going to lose their inner turret in the top lane. An excellent split from Ontario. They're getting the gold that they want with this Baron buff. They're just going to look to siege a little bit more. Caitlyn's just going to fire off some autos, not able to get close enough to that turret quite yet. I think we're going to be able to see a fight very soon, though.
Look, and this is where Short Hop's lead is so impactful. He's so strong and able to just set up traps all around the turrets. And it's going to be Slasher here in the bot lane. Sagusa not able to do much. The percent max HP damage is just so strong at this point. And those cannon minions are just destroying the tower. There's nothing you can do.
Now this 3-1-1 setup for Ontario is working wonders, as they've already got the bot lane inhibitor turret, and they're going to get the top lane inhibitor turret very soon.
Oh, that turret is going down so fast.
Is finally getting the damage off that he needs.
Oh, but Sagusa coming in, not going to get the ult, and it looks like the Redemption's going to come down. Not going to be a fight. They do get that turret, but it's actually Slasher in the bot lane, going to get the inhib. And RC's going to look to try to get a pick on him, but they're just not able to, and they're just going to lose their mid tower.
Slasher is just playing a 1v5 game right now, absolutely carrying his team to victory, able to pick off a solo inhibitor. He's also 1v2.
They don't do any damage.
Sagusa. They don't have the damage without the Jinx there.
RT having no damage at all to do with Slasher. Stiletta's the only person on the team that can kill Slasher. This is the reason why he has no deaths in this game.
He's playing excellently right now, using his split push potential to its maximum efficiency right here. When we talked about RIT's wins early on with their clearly superior composition, they do lose out in split pushing, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the shot calling being a little iffy on the side of RIT. The macro play is just not exactly the best, and they're getting punished really hard by the side of Western Ontario. And that Shen is just proving to be such an insane factor in this game. The Stand Uniteds have been so good, and the W auto attack block from the only person that can kill him, Stiletta, and he just counters that.
Now I just got memories of Caitlyn hitting 1,700 damage crits with headshots along with the new Infinity Edge. That's disgusting. Caitlyn hit the full build mark already.
See, now he can take out the front line of RIT, right? They have the Cassiopeia, right? With the Leandries and the Rylais, going to be doing so much percent HP DPS, and then also Short Hop having full build with the LDR. I mean, at this point, they're just running away with the game.
They really are currently sitting at a 8K gold lead almost. Not 7K is a little bit more accurate, but they are sitting up 4 dragons, 7 turrets, 0 kills yet again, tied at 11-11, just like last game. But this is the point where we saw RIT turn around and
but it's going to be an engage, and now Infiltrator is going to get taken out because Zemi is forced to use it. Sagusa is in the top lane, but Slasher not having the stand united actually, but it's going to be Julius taking low, and there's nothing they can do here. Sagusa can't mash Slasher anymore. RIT is forced to go for something here. The prison's going to go in, but now Julius is going to get taken down. He secures the Elder Dragon. GA gonna get popped, but it's still gonna be Short Hop over the Baron pit. Gonna get so much damage. Julius taken out, but Slasher is just wreaking havoc on the base of RIT. There's nothing Sagusa can do. RIT has forced the back, and the Elder Dragon goes over. And now it's gonna be Short Hop speeding up, killing out Kazeme. Infiltrator trying to get away, but RIT is just taking so many casualties here. There's nothing that they can do, and it looks like Western Ontario is going to try to get this last inhib.
I just want to highlight Slasher yet again is pulling out the good old 2015 Zion Spartan.
Infiltrator. Did you see that huge crit from Stiletta? And now this is going to be the engage from Sagusa. Short Hop trying to do damage in the backline, but it's going to be Slasher trying to get away. Stiletta no mana though, and it looks like it's gonna be the disengage from Western Ontario.
Now they do have super minions on the base, so they can opt into going for the Baron right now. RIT is not going to be able to contest this as it is being taken so unbelievably fast.
This has gone from bad to worse. They have Elder Dragon, and now they secure the Baron with it. This is so bad. They have 3 inhibs down on the side of RIT with the Baron buff. They also have the Caitlyn. I mean, they don't even have to fight. They can just siege, force RIT to go on them, and then RIT just lose the fight at this point.
At this point, all that Ontario needs to do is dedicate 3 members into the mid lane, Slasher into one of the side lanes, maybe the Cassiopeia in a side lane as well, or just Julius, and Baron up all those super minions and just siege the base. This is what RIT needed to do in the very last game at the very end. But they failed the macro play, and this time it's just going to be so much easier.
2 lanes of super minions. They're gonna have to force the fight. Sagusa comes in, and it's actually gonna be Julius going down first. Sagusa popping the Gargoyle's stone plate, but the huge Cassiopeia ult, and now the Slasher is just going in. He's slashing them all up, but Stiletta does get to the turret, and actually Stiletta gonna actually be able to do enough damage, but it's gonna be the huge shields coming out from this name through, but he's just taking out. RIT is just dismantled, and it's gonna be Western Ontario taking it 2-0 over RIT. They are 4-0 undefeated and hand RIT their first loss.